Fellas, things are very, very hot right now. It's happening in Niger. Here's Niger. Here's a map. They've arrested French citizen in the name of Marius Berchia, apparently, allegedly a spy, a big agent of France into Niger. This is absolutely shocking. Let's watch this.
L'Alliance s'est transformée en une confédération qui repose sur trois piliers, les 3D, à savoir la défense et la sécurité, la diplomatie et le développement. Ce nouveau cadre stratégique d'intégration destiné à devenir à terme une fédération dispose d'un fort potentiel de ressources naturelles pour atteindre ses objectifs. Ce potentiel fait l'objet de convoitises de certaines puissances occidentales qui financent, arment les groupes terroristes afin de déstabiliser nos pays.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. I know we've spoken about Niger quite a number of times, but we have to speak about this because I know English-speaking Africans tends to turn towards English-speaking African countries, like Nigerians like Ghanaians, and Ghanaians like, you know what I mean, Ugandans and Kenyans, and you know what I mean. We need to understand Africa is not about languages. Those languages were imported. We are the same people. Therefore, we're going to find out about what's happening in Niger because I think it's very, very crucial, and it's an element that could help all of us on how to move forward. Now, the Nigerian government has stopped a Frenchman in the name of Marius Berchia, born in 1970, for entering illegally the territory of Niger. This man has been presented as an agent of the DGSE. For those of you who don't know, the DGSE is a special branch. It's the French intelligence service, one of the most respected in the world. They also allege there are many DGSE agents who are under a false identity moving around Niger and many other African countries. They're there on a special mission to obviously push forward the French influence. So now we're going to find very quickly what this means, and later on we're going to talk about some crazy stuff happening in Libya. Yeah, they're mistreating black people in Libya. But let's start with Niger. First of all, so the Nigerian government believes that France continues to roll out planes through its DGSA, the intelligence service, with the goal of destabilizing the country and destabilizing the Sahel. This is Niger on the map. This is the Sahel. Yes, these three countries have come together, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, as a confederation with the goal of being strong together because they understand alone you fall apart. Together, you stay strong. So these three countries have decided to be one, not necessarily forgetting their cultures or their modus operandis, but just be one. Brotherhood. The same as you are with your tribes, your different tribes. Just look, it's not crazy. I know when you say being one, some of you go like, oh, I don't want to be one with Zimbabwe. No, I don't want to be one with Namibia. No, let me tell you something. What is Namibia? What is Zimbabwe? It's people coming together. Now, you as your tribe and the next person from a different tribe, that's what makes your country. So there is no limit. Same as your country can associate yourself with another country to say, let's be strong together. Okay, let's continue. For context, Niger was colonized by France for many, many years. When they came to Africa, looted, took things, you know how it goes, you know, they destroyed, whatever. In 1960s, they got the freedom or the independence like many African countries. But in the case of Niger, like many other French colonized countries, here are the French colonized countries, they signed a pact, a deal that gave France authority over these countries, especially economical authority and political for the rest of their lives. Now, the proof is in the pudding because today, these countries, as you see, these are French colonized countries. They still use this currency. It's called the CFA franc. However, what's the difference with Niger? Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso had decided we don't want this anymore. We want to run our own countries the way we feel it. We are independent. We don't want the French to print our money. We don't want them to negotiate for us internationally in terms of minerals. We don't want them to tell us what to do. We are big boys. Now, Niger kicked out President Mohamed Bazoum. Mohamed Bazoum, this man here, he was a very good friend of the French. And with Bazoum, France could, you know, take things as easy as, especially uranium. Niger is one of the biggest producer of uranium in the world. So France could take uranium in Niger for a very cheap price. Let's say 0.80 per kilogram of uranium in Niger. For the same uranium, France will pay $200 in Canada. Again, $0.80 for the Nigerian uranium and $200 per kilogram from the Canadian uranium. That shows you how much respect they give you. Now, this brand new government came into power. They kicked out the previous president. They didn't unalive him. They were nice enough. They kept him in house arrest. But they say, oh, from now on, we don't want to deal with the French anymore. The French soldiers that came living in our country, supposedly with the goal of fighting terrorism, we don't want them anymore. They need to go because French soldiers were stationed in Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali with the goal of fighting terrorism. But they had been there for a long time, more than 10 years, and nothing is happening. I mean, for a country that's supposed to be number 4th power in the world militarily, being unable to dislodge terrorists, that's crazy. Now, some people say France was actually nourishing the terrorists with intelligence, with weapons, with, all that stuff. And matter of fact, France was not in these countries for free. They were getting millions of dollars per day for just being there. Now, Niger said, you know what? Thank you very much. Okay, time for you, it's over. You should go back. You need to go back home. We can handle this ourselves. Now, France is not very happy because France needs to be liked and needed so they can survive. Now, since they've left, obviously, many Nigerians believe France will not let it go. They will find all sort of technique and tactics to come back into Niger.
Losing Niger is a great catastrophe for France. They were not going to stand still and look at us leave. They will do everything to come back, but our chance is that we are much more aware than our grandparents. Today, Africans master the tool of information. They cannot manipulate us anymore.
And one of the best tactics is to destabilize the place by giving terrorists weapons, intelligence, and how to act in order to destroy, to render the place unlivable. So they can say, oh, now that you've kicked out the French out of the country, look at the mayhem you've created. You better call them back. Now, many people are accusing France of sending spies into Niger. There were many people in the street of Niamey walking, supporting the government, accusing France of sending spies.
C'est également le lieu de dénoncer les actions subversives et la nouvelle stratégie de recolonisation revendiquée et assumée par la France, qui renseigne, forme, finance et arme les groupes terroristes au Sahel. Elle offre gîtes et couverts à ses valeurs locaux.
And it's not the first time. This is what they say. Despite official denials from Paris, it's becoming increasingly obvious that France plays a destabilizing role in Sahel countries. This event once again demonstrates France's effort to disrupt the region. This is not the first time where France has been caught in the act. At the end of October, a secret operation in Sahel led by Paris was brought to light. Secret operation, fellas. A secret operation from France brought to light in Niger. We have discovered that the DGSE employees who present themselves under fictitious name, they are suspected of having provided intelligence, weapons and equipment to terrorist groups. So this is how it is, fellas, and I think it's absolutely crazy. So again, you remember Mozambique? We spoke about Mozambique. Mozambique is down here. Look at Niger. Niger is here. Mozambique is here. In Mozambique, people came out the street fighting against government because they feel like government has been lying to them for all these years. They're looting and stealing and taking things for themselves. So they should step down. In Niger, people are walking into the streets supporting the government, saying we do not want interruption from French.
On the 17th of September, I was in Bamako when they tried to destabilize Mali with a terror attack. But that was not enough for them. They tried to destabilize Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso. We are sending a strong message to all imperialists. Know that we are standing by our military.
You see the difference? One is kicking out the government, the other one is pushing in the government. Okay, I was going to speak about Libya, but we're going to put it in the next video because, this is just crazy. So many things. You're going to find out how Libya is mistreating Africans in the next video. Okay, so as I was saying, this is not the first time. Apparently, there are French agents in Ivory Coast. You see this? Look at the border. This is Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. These are friends. You can see these are the ECOWAS countries. These countries don't like these three countries because these three countries have kicked out France, and these other countries don't like the fact that they've kicked out France. It's like they want to continue into colonialism. It's crazy. Now, this country is Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast apparently is hosting many French spies with the goal of destabilizing the Sahel countries. Again, let me remind you here that Niger, a few months ago, accused Benin of hosting French soldiers.
So this sick desire to destabilize Niger spread through the repositioning of all the French DGSE agents that we expelled from our territory. They have been repositioned in Benin City. I repeat, they have been repositioned in Nigeria.
Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali accused Benin of hosting French soldiers in their country. These countries accused them of hosting soldiers with the goal of training terrorism and attacking eventually once they get an opportunity to destabilize these countries. In other words, African countries are looking towards different directions, and some of them are associating themselves with Europeans to the detriment of other Africans. Let me just repeat myself because this is crazy. You will never, ever attack a European country as a foreign nation whilst Europeans are looking at you. Never, ever. It's not possible. You will never see that. Europeans will always come together. Why shouldn't Africans do the same? Come together as one people and support one another. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. I can't squeeze everything in. Unfortunately, it's very hard today. You have no idea. But on the next video, I'll talk to you about Libya, on how they mistreated Africans. Yeah, they don't like you there. African players, soccer players went to play in Libya and they were beat up. Very, very sad. Are they Africans as well? Oh, by the way, before you go, please let me know where you watching us from. How long have you been watching us? Number one. Number two, where are you watching us from? We really want to know and trying to situate who are watching us and how long have they been with us. God bless.